My name is Juanita Tortoledo, and for my and my co-teacher's lesson plan, we are doing 4th grade. Our content standard is 4.1.5. Students demonstrate an understanding of the physical and human geographic areas that define places and regions in California. We use maps, charts, and pictures to describe how communities in California vary in land use, vegetation, wildlife, climate, population density, architecture, services, and transportation. So, the learning objective we came up with was scholars will be able to describe how communities in California vary in climate, wildlife, etc. through a Google image, diagram, or mind map with 2 out of 3 regions. So we did these 3 as a way to incorporate the different students' strong suits, like how they learn best, kind of going into the social justice that we read in class. And we decided to do 2 out of 3 regions, kind of like South California, Central California, and Northern California. For our level of Bloom, we are doing the 2nd level, which is Understand. So that's where we got our Google image, diagram, or mind map from. For our co-teaching model used, we decided to go with team teaching, which is 1 general education teacher, 1 special education teacher, and ESL teacher sharing teacher duties. So we're basically both going to be teaching and helping out the students as a team. We won't be separated into groups. We'll both be teaching in front of the class and helping out students individually. So for one of the things that I found that might be a barrier is that there's a possibility that we may lack communication on handling or helping students. So we might be like kind of helping one student too much and like not helping with teaching, for example. Like you never know what might happen like when we're actually up there teaching. So something I've put as a solution is, as co-teachers, we should set guidelines beforehand to ensure we know what to expect from each other. So make sure we have that communication of, hey, make sure we're even with the lesson and making sure that we're not making too much work for one and less for the other. So for our evidence of mastery assessment, we went with self-assessment with using a KWL chart and then a final product / hands-on project. They will be given the task of taking a piece of their work and attempting to find possible corrections. This will help them ask more questions and learn how to review work. So this kind of assessment will hopefully help them see where they're at and maybe help them see where they can improve just by assessing themselves. And in turn, we as teachers will get to also see what needs some work and what doesn't. So these are some of our solutions and barriers. And then for our evaluation, we decided with our students will have a final project of either a research paper, a skill model, or a skit. So I chose these 3, we both chose these 3 as a way to also adhere to the different learning styles. So maybe one student is better with writing, so that's why the research paper can be an option. Another student might have more comfort with arts and crafts, so like hands-on, having a skill model would be perfect for that student. Maybe one is really active and a skit might be best. So they kind of each could pick what best fits them and what they're most comfortable with. Something that we put as a barrier is like the bilingual students and disabilities. Like maybe they can't do one. Like for example, the skit might not work for someone with a disability, for example, if they can't move around too much. Which is why we're kind of doing the options of having multiple final projects so they could choose which one is the best fit for them. And then So our solution is that, like, being inclusive and diverse, making sure we're always adhering to the needs of our students.